This is session 7, managing database storage structures. Objective of the session is understand Oracle table space, allocation types, small file, big file table spaces, create data files with fixed size and auto extend options, temporary table space groups, control files, managing undo data, managing redo data, and understand Oracle database consistency, read consistency. So this session is all about the Oracle database structures, the storage part. So the Oracle database is made up of physical and logical structures. Physical structures are visible in the operating system. Physical structures are visible in the operating systems. An example of a physical structure is an operating system file that stores data on the disk, and that's a physical example, physical structure. We call it as physical. Logical structures are defined and known to the Oracle database server but are not known to the operating system. An example of logical structures is the table space. So how the table space, how the data is stored? Data is stored like this. We have a table 1, table A, table B, right? Tables are stored in the segments, all right? The table rows, like we have the columns, and this is the entire table, right? So broadly, if you look at a big picture of the table, we have the rows and columns, and these columns are stored in the form of data blocks. So this is one block. You see it is a block here. So these are blocks, and the group of blocks together is called an extent. So this is a piece of row here. So this is a piece of row. This is a piece of row which is being stored here, right? It is stored in the data block. This is a block. This is one block. So group of multiple blocks is made what is something known as an extent. This is how that data is actually stored for any table, for any user data. So when we talk about the block, what is actually in the block? A block contains one block header, that is called block header. Then there is a space available for the purpose of growth, for storing more data on it, and the actual data of the table from here to here. This is your raw data, right? These are the contents of the block. So how to view the control files, how to view this storage? For that we need to access our enterprise manager and log in as system user. When we log in as system user, we go to the control files in the file menu, in the storage menu, and we'll see the details. So let's look at and let's see the details. Log in as sys user, and if you want to log in as system, then don't log in as sysdba. So I'm logging in as system user, not sys user. That give me access to the storage, like undo data and redo data. I'm going to show you all the database structures, and even we are going to create some files. So let's go one by one. Let's understand. So here we have storage options. If you look at control files, these are the control files. Remember, control files are grouped. They are in the groups, right? Look at the control files. There are two control files. They are multiplexed. Why? Because if one control file get corrupt, you have another control file, right? So these are the control files. Okay. Same way, if you look at the redo log groups, these are the redo log groups. Every log group have one or more file. And remember, the group has to be multiplex. You have to create a multiple copy. In every group you have to add same file, like group 1 redo log, group 1.log, group 2 log 2, group 3 log 3. So if you see, the files are multiplexed. In fact, I created this tsp redo log, another file. I added a file, and therefore I had to multiplex it. To multiply the same file, I have to create the file in every group. Let's try. I select this group. I want to add a member of file. So what is the file? Group 1, the location, and the file name. Let me say yav underscore let me show yav redo log 01. This is a file which I want to create, and in fact .log. This is a file. If you want to create the same file with SQL, nothing to panic, and this is the best way to learn. To create the same file with SQL, you can click on this, it will show you the SQL statement. So this is the SQL statement successfully generated, and this is the statement: alter database, add log file member, this is the file name which you specified, to group 1. When you click on this, you will get that same command back, and you click on OK, and the file will be created. Alright, the file is created now. Click on SQL and you see the SQL here. Let's use the same method to copy and to add the second file to the second group from the command line. Right? To create the same file, so you can log into the command line, right? And then you need to change. Right now I'm working into another container, Oracle PDB, so we need to alter the session. So and once you are working in the CDB where your database is stored, where you are working, then you will be able to issue the command. Command is that simple: alter session set container to that CDB $root, CDB $root, and your changed session altered. And now you can issue this statement. Try again here, add member, and here I'm specifying the third because we have to multiplex it. So I'm adding this yow redo log 02.log. okay, and this file is being created in my group 2. You see redo log group 2, I selected that, and show SQL, and this is the SQL statement. Let me copy it and paste it in a notepad, so I can issue the same statement from my command line, and the same will be created, because I'm not going to execute it here. I not click on execute. So now I don't have to execute this. I can cancel it and I can refresh, and I will see that the file is added already, right? So we have learned how to add from this console, from the enterprise manager, and from the command line, right? So same way, let's go to the redo log we have done, undo management. This is undo segment. We are going to talk about the undo in the presentation, but right now this is a quick demonstration on that. Undo summary, undo management, it auto. There is no retention guarantee. How to configure the retention guarantee, we will understand that. We'll see that example also. So this is a summary. What is the meaning of this undo guarantee, retention guarantee? That's a very interesting fact. If you set it to yes, it instructs the database not to overwrite unexpired undo data, even if it means risking failure of currently active DML operations. Use this option when you want to ensure deterministic and predictable behavior of your flashback query. We will learn more in flashback. There's a topic on flashback. Alright, and this is the status. If you see undo advisor, alright, this is undo advisor. And if you want to change that create table, you want to create a table space, undo table space, you can create here. You want to change the parameters. Right now, for example, you see the summary is last day. Let's change it to the week. Change summary, instead of last day you change it to last week, let's say, and you'll see the summary of the entire week, and the graph will change. Now you see it is the week summary, right? Last week summary. So period of the data available, the graph is available for the entire week now, right? So this is the undo data management. We'll understand what is undo data, how it works, and what is the advantage, undo and redo both. So so that I want to give the demonstration quickly once, so that you understand the screens and you connect with the screens, and when we do actual working we'll learn that also. And this is archive logs. Archive logs will not be visible if you have disabled archive log. I have enabled archive, therefore I am seeing the archive logs also. In my case, archive log is enabled. In my case it is yes. If it is no, you will not see anything here, it will be blank. So we have seen the control files. The control file information section provide information about the creation and most recent modification of the control file. In the list of control file section, the control file names are provided. More than one control name indicate that control file is multiplexed. As you notice, they were actually multiplexed, right? So log into system, go to control files, and you see the data. And here, this is a screenshot of what I showed to you. Control files, right? And these are the control files. There are two control files were there. They were multiplexed, right? Then we have redo logs. Same way we looked at the redo logs also. And the way I demonstrated multiple, there were three groups, one file in each group. I created one previously before this demo, one I created in front of you in the demo during the presentation, right? So we created how to add redo log groups, correct? So view archive redo logs, same way we say the archive logs also. So these are the menu and the archive logs, the way it is visible, right? Now managing redo logs, and this is what we have done. We go to the redo log groups and then add member, and we indeed added one member to the group, right? We added the member from this console as well as from the command line, right? So this is what we did. Enter a directory location and the file name, click OK. Note that redo log files are member should be stored on separate disk drive so that at least one member will be accessible if you have a disk drive failure, and that is the purpose of this. You got the purpose. Why do we create so many? You create them on separate disk so that if one disk fails, you have another one available. So purpose is redundancy. You got it? So and the SQL statement is generated, and you can create using SQL statement also, as I demonstrated, right? Then redo log files. This is what we did. Repeat step 2 through 4 for log group 2 and 3, right? As I said, they must be multiplexed. Transactions and undo data. Why we created this undo data? Why we require this undo and redo? See, problem is whenever you issue an update statement, update DML operations, the data is actually you are working in buffer cache, right? And look at the sequence. The first, the data goes to the redo log buffer, then data goes to the, from buffer cache, data goes to the undo segment to old data, because you are replacing, you are modifying, right? So old data goes to undo table space, and the new data which you have replaced go to the redo log files. If you want to go back, you can use undo. Each transaction is assigned to only one undo segment. An undo segment can service more than one transaction at a time, right? This is how the transactions work. So there are three different conditions. One is 2/3 full. Second condition is 3 seconds timing reach, and third condition is what you said, commit. Any of the three conditions. So here we have three different conditions. One is commit, automatically will be committed, and second is 2/3 of the log full, and next condition is to buffer full, not log full, buffer, and next is the 3 seconds. So storing this undo information. Undo information stored is in undo segments, which are stored in an undo table space. So undo table spaces are used only for the undo segment. Alright, they have special recovery considerations. They may be associated with only one instance. Okay, requires that one of them to be current writable undo table space for a given instance at any given time. Undo versus redo. Undo data versus redo data. Undo data records of how undo a change. Redo how to reproduce a change. Used for undo is used for rollback, read consistency, flashback. Redo is log for rolling forward. Undo is stored into undo segment. Redo is stored into redo log. Undo protect against inconsistent read in multi-user system, and redo protect against data loss, right? Managing undo data. Oracle database use undo data to roll back transactions to provide read consistency as a part of database recovery and to enable features such as Oracle flashback query. Oracle database automatically ensures that undo data that is in use by an active transaction is never overwritten until that transaction has been committed. Right? The database server maintains and automatically tunes an undo retention period to ensure that success of flashback query features and for the read consistency of long running queries. Auto tuning is best thing. Auto tuning of undo retention period is enabled when you create your database for the first time. Okay. Managing undo data. This is what we just saw, right? Undo management. So select undo management in the storage menu and you see low undo retention threshold 900 seconds. This setting shows the minimum undo retention as configured in the undo retention initialization parameter, which is actually 15 minutes. Alright. Retention guarantee. Right now it is no, and the yes means what? Retention guarantee setting of no indicate that database server will overwrite expired undo data. And if the setting is yes, it is necessary to support Oracle flashback query, and yes is mandatory in that situation. If you receive snapshot too old errors, you may need to increase the value of undo retention or increase the size of the undo table space. Right? Undo advisor graph, which was there on the right hand side, if you notice that, right? That graph shows the minimum size requirement for the undo table space given a particular undo retention time. You can change the undo table space to a fixed size if necessary. Changing to fixed size may be required to support Oracle flashback operations. Right? Click change analysis parameter to change the value used on undo configuration analysis by undo advisor. So change undo analysis parameter. This is the option where you can change it. Undo data. You can select the last week. For example, I demonstrated the last week selection, how to change it, right? And we saw that period. Managing undo, automatic undo management, fully automated undo management and space in a dedicated undo table space for all sessions. Self-tuning in auto extend table space to satisfy long running queries. Self-tuning in fixed size table space for best retention. Right? What is your task as a DBA? Configure undo retention, changing undo table space to a fixed size, avoiding space and snapshot too old errors. This is your job, right? Undo retention specify in second how long already committed undo information is to be retained. The only time you must set this parameter is when undo table space has auto extension enabled and you want to set undo retention for large binary objects, right? And you want to guarantee retention. It is mandatory for guarantee retention. This is important, right? This is you set it. So how to configure it, how to guarantee the retention? By default our value was no. Command is alter table space undo tabs 1 retention guarantee. This is how you guarantee that. Alright. So retention guarantee 15 minutes. So that means undo data in undo table space will be retained for 15 minutes. So when you say, like if you run a query here, start from here, DML, you are running a DML query, right? The transaction will fail if it generates more undo data than the space available into the undo segment, right? When you are talking about select statement, running 15 minutes or less will always be satisfied. Why? Because you are guaranteeing. By default undo retention is 900 seconds, which is 15 minutes. Table spaces. By default we have these table spaces: system, sysogs, temp, undo table space, users. Alright. Users table space are used to store the data of the user objects. Right. Managing the table spaces. Database is divided into logical storage unit called table spaces, which group related logical structures such as tables, views, and other database objects, right? Open terminal window, connect to multi-tenant container database ORCL. And after that, how to manage, how to display. First, we are talking about our own container database. We are going to manage the table space for our container database. So command, we know that it is alter session set container is equal to ORCLDB, right? And then we should be able to access it. So it was 5502 / enterprise manager, right? So I'm logging in as system and Oracle, and I, because very interesting fact, yeah, when you are managing the storage for user based databases, you have to log in as system and not sys. Remember, for storage purpose you have to log in as system user and not sys user. And here now we will see the table spaces and the SQL generated for the table spaces, and we'll create one table space, or we'll work with the files of the table space. Fine. So let's go to the storage and table spaces. And this is so easy here, because it will help you with everything. Like the table space, by default this is the file of the table space, right? You want to create a new one, add data file to this. So select the table space name first and then use add data file, right? You see, when you select the data file, you don't get add data file option working, right? What actions you can take here? You can create, set status, set edit auto extend option. You can resize. You got my point? Right now it is 5 MB, right? You want to resize it? Let's resize. Click on this, and then I want to make it 10 MB, and I want to see the query. How can I do that with SQL? So it is so simple that you create this query: alter database data file, and the file name resize 10 MB, right? If you want to run it from the SQL prompt, I always suggest that you learn the concept here, you practice on the command line by writing the queries. So query generation, this is the best way to learn, that you generate the query here and you practice on the prompt, SQL prompt, right? So that's my recommendation, that you learn here and practice there. So let's add a file, for example, add file. Now we are going to add a file here. Using Oracle manage file, no, I am not going to use that by default, because if you say Oracle manage files through initialization parameters, you specify the file system directory to be used for data or temporary files. Oracle then ensures that a unique file, an Oracle manage file, is created and deleted when no longer needed. Currently the value of Oracle manage file is not set, right? So let's specify the file. Okay, user02, user02 plus, now it is added, right? Size 100 MB, let's keep it small, 20 MB or 30 MB. Reuse existing file, no, I'm creating it. Auto extend enabled, yes. Increment is, let's increment 10 MB up to unlimited size, right? Now click on show SQL. It will show the query to create the file. Alter table space users, add data file user02, size 30 MB, auto extend on next 100 MB, right? Next 10 MB, right? So you can create a query also, you can generate query and you can execute it. Now we have added the file to that user table space, and you see the file is added here, right? And it'll say the size also, and is almost all free, right? You want to delete it, So select and drop. To see the SQL query for this, to drop it, so alter table space users drop data file in the file name, and let's drop it. Right, now the file is dropped. We have only one file left. You want to create a table space, you want to create your own table space, click on create, and this is creating a table space. Name, let's say TSP table space, TBS, right? Permanent or temporary or undo, what kind of table space we are creating. You want to keep it default. Default means any new file created will be stored here, new table created, right? So set as default. If unless I mean if the table space is not specified, right? Is going to be small file or big file, online or offline, or is in memory. Okay, you specify these parameters. Offline, online means available, offline means sorry, not being used right now. I mean you can create it and leave it for later use, right? Created but not being used. Then move this right arrow and add data file to it, because without data file it does not make sense, right? So let me create file 1 or file 01.dbf and add and another file of this size 100 MB. Let me add to 40 MB or 50 MB, and add file 02. One more file I'm adding, right? I can see the SQL also. This is we already know that how to create the SQL. Now I have added two files, file 1 and file 2, right? File added. Next is that block size 8 KB or 2 KB or 16 KB or what block size you want, and show SQL. You can see the SQL so far, whatever we have created done. So create small file table space name, data files, block size, logging, default, online, right? And we are continuing, right? Now we have to move on to the login part. Next, logging or no logging, force logging, choice is yours. And then segments, automatic segment or manual or compression. You want to compress, or what do you want, right? And finally click on show SQL and click on OK, and it will create a table space. And this is a table space we just now created, and here we see the table space, the two files added to the table space. Fine. View the table space information. We just already verified that port number is working. If like by default enterprise manager is not accessible, then what you need to configure the Oracle PDB. We learned that in the previous session, right? Enterprise manager is to be configured. So view table space and data files. We have just logged into the system. We saw the table spaces and the files. We created our own files also, right? This also we did, like we specify the table space, we create table spaces. Remember, we created a table space name, and the details, what type of you want to create, right? And then we specified arrow keys and move on to the next part. Generate sequence statement, add the files, right? Add data files to it, right? And then after adding the table data files, we go to the space management, 8 KB block size, right? Auto extend, right? Auto extend. If you want auto extend, you can select that. If you want to deselect, it will not be extended automatically, right? Creating a table space. So now finally the logging strategy, then the segments, and once you do that, you can click on show SQL to see the SQL statement, and then OK to create the table space. Fine. How to auto extend if it is not already auto extended? In our case it was auto extend. If you remember, I selected this and I demonstrated this also. Click on the table space of your choice go to the actions, go to this edit auto extend. Remember, I just enabled auto extend in one of my example. So click on this auto extend. This is a checkbox which you have to do. Remember, this is what we suggested. Even we generated the query, right? Enlarging the database. So we have learned, by the way, all the ways to enlarge the database. You can extend it. You can create a new table space. We have done that. Adding a data file, we have done that. Increasing the size of the data file, we have done that. Dynamic growth also, we have done that. Auto extend, right? We done all these methods to enlarge the database, correct? These are the possible ways, and we have learned all of them. That's all for this session.